15 minutes and showed them the basics and then left them to it, just so that we could kind of gauge how different academics might be using it in sort of different disciplines, how much training we should provide them with, and what kind of documentation we should be making available as well. Of those, 2 never did anything, so they never actually set up their lists, but a lot of them were very positive about it. Things that we found out were that our academics don't go to the library catalogue to look up books, they just look for them on Amazon, so they were very keen on the idea of being able to bookmark from Amazon. I have no idea, and I still don't understand how they find their way to electronic journal articles, because they don't use any of our systems. So that's been quite difficult to anticipate what kind of guidance we provide in terms of people bookmarking from there. What we've been doing since the start of term are lots of briefings to faculty, departmental meetings, whatever we can get a little slot on the agenda really, and that's been again across most of our faculties. We're having a bit of difficulty kind of penetrating into biomedical and life sciences, where we think this would actually go down a treat. I think that they really like using Aspire because they're very heavy users of journal articles to support their teaching. We came up with a communication engagement strategy, or rather I wrote it, but that's now been handed over to our subject teams so that they can really go out to the academics within their departments and follow up where we've had a bit of interest to actually get people using the system. We're also planning things like our VP for teaching is going to be writing to all heads of departments, asking them to endorse it within the department. We will probably have a mandate at some point, but at the moment I've been holding off because we had a mandate for everybody to use Moodle for this year, and it went down like a lead balloon in some departments. So I'd rather use Ian's kind of carrot first, and then at a later date we'll end up with a mandate. We already have more lists in Aspire for this year than we had in our old system on a year-on-year basis, and that's largely thanks to the fact that our departments of anthropology and political science, who were the heaviest users of our old reading list system, actually paid people to create all of their Term 1 and Term 2 reading lists for this session sort of during August to October. What we discovered was that we actually only had 50% of their lists before, so they were still hiding lots, but now they're all in there. So we've got somewhere in the region of about 350 reading lists in Aspire. Obviously one of our concerns with those departments is how we now make sure that the academics continue to maintain those, because the way the department worked, it was that they just had temporary funding and these people in place to create the reading lists. Some of our priorities, immediate priorities, are to get some student feedback from the people that have been using it this term, and one thing that our Director of Library Services is really key in terms of communication engagement is actually making the students demand that their academics put these reading lists online. So he sees that, and I do agree with him, very much as the key to this, which is the students putting pressure on the academics rather than the library trying to convince them that it's a good idea. And the other thing really is kind of closing the loop, so where we go along to departments and brief them on the new service, a lot of them start nodding their heads and going, oh yeah, that's really useful, but it's actually following up with those individuals, sitting down with them and getting them using Aspire. But yes, that's where we're at.